Ladies and gentlemen, this is security camera footage from earlier this week, just after the AWL Intercontinental Championship match, wherein Dragoness, you see there in the green or blue, still in her ring gear, lost the Intercontinental Championship to Emily Nagasaki, and the erstwhile tag team partner of Dragoness, Akira Merune, the Mistress of 1,000 Holds, apparently decided to run into Dragoness backstage and, not to put too fine a point on it, start shit. We do apologize for the quality of this footage. This is, again, security camera, CCTV footage from behind the scenes here at the AWL Arena. We see some of our production gear in the background there. They do appear to be fighting right outside of the women's locker room, actually. These two, the original AWL Tag Team Champions of the Joshi Division, if you can believe it. A rather unfortunate and nasty breakup last season of Bulldog there from Dragoness. And this is just what happens with wrestlers. Whenever they get into a real-world fight, they're switching to another camera shot, apparently. We have cameras in the women's locker room and nobody mentioned this? Well, I suppose, there have been thieves in wrestling locker rooms for years, and okay, fair enough. I think we can certainly say that whatever the issues between Dragoness and Akira Merune, they're certainly not over. And wait a minute, in the locker room of, ooh! This is not happening in a wrestling ring, ladies and gentlemen. None of this is like, oh! Right into the TV, or right into the locker. Dragoness, as she said, sick of this garbage. Neckbreaker. Well, we do have some business we have to attend to here, ladies and gentlemen. Our main event of the week for the Animated Wrestling League Grand Championship. The first challenger from the AWL Best Four.
The following contest is your main event of the week. Scheduled for one fall, one submission or a knockout to decide the winner. And it is for the Animated Wrestling League Grand Championship.
Okay, before we get to this match, I do want to let you know security has broken up Dragoness and Akira Merune. Merune receiving some medical attention to some of the injuries she suffered at the hands of Dragoness. And I'm certain we're going to hear more about that once the AWL Commissioner is done yelling at everybody. Lee Masters coming out here with his tag team partner, the Suplex Master Sammy Nix, who will be acting as cornerman tonight. Lee Masters has been fighting for and maintained his #1 contender status for quite a while now. Winning the reshuffle match last week was his final obstacle before facing the boss fight, and that is the most Canadian man in the world. And your AWL Grand Champion, hailing from the true north, strong and free. He has drunk from the cup of Tim Hortons. He has supped upon the festive special of Swiss Chalet. He is the most Canadian man in the world. He refers to his genitalia as his Stanley Cup and Timbits. He's the most Canadian man in the world. He runs around with knives on his feet even when he's not playing hockey. He's the most Canadian man in the world. His archetype of childhood is Mr. Dress-Up. He's the most Canadian man in the world. I could go on like this, but thankfully for all of you, I'm not going to, because that, the richest prize in professional wrestling, on the line right here, right now.
Introducing first the challenger. He is the #1 ranked in the AWL Best Four. Fighting out of Minneapolis, Minnesota by way of Las Vegas, Nevada. The Technical Wizard, Lee Masters. And his opponent, he is the reigning and defending Animated Wrestling League Grand Champion. Tonight, making his second title defense. Fighting out of Calgary, Dramatic Falls, Alberta, Canada, the most Canadian man in the world, Kid Canada! This is an officially sanctioned Grand Championship match under the auspices of the Animated Wrestling League, AWL Commissioner presiding, and the sound of the bell, AWL Senior Official, Joey Barganush, in charge.
And that is what it is all about, ladies and gentlemen, the AWL Grand Championship, which I believe is still available on Community Creations if you're interested. Much like his first title defense against Chiba Akagi, this should be a technical masterpiece. Two longtime veterans of the Animated Wrestling League, Lee Masters, a Season 0 original, Kid Canada coming into the AWL back in Season 2. We are currently in Season 18 if you need context for that. Overhand wrist lock, chain wrestling to start us off. Who's going to come out on top of what is technically still the touch guy? Oh, nice takedown, Kid Canada coming out. The champion with a hard strike as well. One of the last graduates of the Stu Hart dungeon. Collar and elbow tie up, back into the corner, or back into the ropes. Referee's going to call for a break here. And he's going to have to physically separate the combatants. And are we going to get a clean break? Yes, we will. Nice arm drag. Mixed martial arts expert Lee Masters. Probably the first person in history to go from MMA to, well, yeah, maybe the first person in history to go from MMA to professional wrestling. That would have been back in, really in the mid-2000s, I would think. So like maybe Ken Shamrock and then Lee Masters. 30 minutes on the clock, extended time limit for title matches. You know the drill by now. Running drop kick into the corner, but he didn't get all of it. Both men with a swing and a miss. Now they jockey for position. Lee Masters with the standing strikes. Has his opponent quite literally on the ropes. And Kid Canada again misses. Good dodge, good duck, good defense. Lee Masters in control right now. And now he's using, oh, now he uses the ropes themselves as a weapon. Referee saying, watch that. That's a public warning from the official. Lee Masters, especially when he gets inside his own head, it's not unknown for him to become a bit of a hothead, for him to be a bit of an egotist, to occasionally bend, if not outright break the rules. But Kid Canada come back into the ring and into the match. Lee Masters knows that championship matches in the AWL, title shots, they don't come around every day. Into the cover, one. Lee Masters has had, I think, one title match per season the last couple of seasons. And he had to win a ladder match to get the last one before this. And wait a minute, Canadian Destroyer! Kid Canada doing massive damage. And back in my day, Sonny, that was a match ender, Petey Williams. And right now, into the camel clutch. The S-grip broken, and that's your escape. I'm certain Stu Hart taught him that one, or the Hart family did at least. Learned that in the dungeon. Downward elbow. And we're coming up now. Canadian Crunch, yes! The Canadian Crunch connects. And that could be all. Into the cover, 1, 2. No, showing strength, tenacity, and fighting spirit. Lee Masters, the penultimate fighter, the technical wizard, gets his shoulder off of the canvas. Lee Masters, the most decorated tag team wrestler in AWL history. He has held the AWL tag team titles, as far as I'm aware, at least 9 times, and with 3 different partners. His initial partner, the wild card Bubba Reese, who I believe is still in jail. His own brother was his second partner, the Masters of Disaster. And now, of course, 6-time tag team champions with the new classics, Lee Masters and Sammy Nix. And there has been blood spilled here. Double leg takedown, as we call it in professional wrestling, the spine buster. The blood flowing from the forehead, the forelock of Lee Masters into the cover. Referee way out of position. 1, 2. That was at least a deep 2 count, if not 3. And Lee Masters, he knows he's got to come up with something. Maybe a classic claw right here. That could do it. Now he's going to go for the suplex. He likes to transition this into the rear naked choke. Rear naked choke. Rear naked choke. One of the ultimate techniques of mixed martial arts. Lee Masters. Kid Canada able to roll over to relieve some of the pressure. Headbutt.
Open breakdown. 5 minutes. 5 minutes max.
And now into a fireman's carry. Into a backstretch. Lee Masters, he's bruised, he's bloodied, he's battered. But he's looking for the AWL Grand Championship, screaming to the heavens. He's got the strikes, he's got the power. He has all the tools in the toolbox to be a champion. I think he always has. Beautiful drop kick. And Lee Masters feeling the power. He's ready. He's in the danger zone. Modified Juji Gadame trying to rip the arm out of the socket. Lee Masters, could the disaster lock give us a new grand champion? I think it could, and that's why Kid Canada is desperate to avoid it. Canadian Destroyer! This could, oh God, more blood spilled. I don't even know whose blood that is on the chest of Lee Masters. Cover, 1, 2, 3, that's it. Kid Canada retains the title. Lee Masters, bloodied, broken, and beaten. Boom, Canadian Destroyer.
Here is your winner, and still Anime Wrestling League Grand Champion, Kid Canada.
There is blood leaking out of Kid Canada's mask, but he is still your Grand Champion. Korede Kimarida.